Hey, this is Kai. I just thought I'd drop my quick thoughts on the ideas for growth. Just share my screen, quickly run through them. So walking through them, the first one is prompt users to invite additional users. I talked with Mike about this before. I think one of the things that makes GitLab powerful is having additional users inside of in the project, right? Most of create and code review is collaborative. Most of GitLab is centered around working in groups and teams. And so one of the ways to sort of help users figure out who needs to be invited is Git Blame. So Blame is a tool, and you can see it sort of, how do this in here, inside of Git that tells you who also worked project or a file. And so like, if you look in our UI, we have a blame button. So if I blame this file, it'll show me who all the committers were and sort of what lines they changed. But what you could do is you could take this data and figure out if the other committers maybe matched, if their user commit data also showed the same like email domain. And so let me actually stop and I can do this locally and show you too. So if we go, let me share this. This is clear. Check out master. Let's do Git blame on. And so we'll just blame this file. And locally, what this will do, big file. So locally, this will show me the committers again. It should also be providing information on the user's like email address. You might have to pull like more detailed on the commit. Like I might be able to do like git log for like that hash. Yeah, and so you can see like who was doing things. And so if you matched a domain that was the same as the person who like created the GitLab account, that might be useful to you. Let's go back and show the barrel really quick. I think it's this one. The other ones were sort of around getting started. I think this is probably the most promising thing that I've put up here, but this one and this one are about getting started, and this is just sort of pie in the sky. But I think the template and auto DevOps are fairly important. There's quite a few features that are locked up behind like Kubernetes, like review apps are locked up in there, auto DevOps is locked up in there, and some other things. And so users can't actually use those quickly and easily on GitLab.com without like signing up for GitLab and then figuring out how to even create a Kubernetes cluster. And most software engineers are not also infrastructure engineers. And so it can be just a hurdle in itself. But if you were to go to like GitLab and do a new project, and you actually look at like templates here, and there's a bunch of templates in here that do a bunch of things already to help you get started with stuff. And so some of these get even crazier, right? Like, so the static site editor is only really easily configured if you start a project based on this middleman template. Gitpod, which is a new feature, is really only easily accessible if you start a project based on this template. Pages is sort of only really easily accessible if you start a Pages site based on template. Like otherwise, you've got a lot of configuring and things to figure out. This is the same for like HIPAA added a audit project. And so there's a lot of features in here that are just, we created individual templates to show off a bunch of disparate features, but there's not like one everything in the box GitLab template. And so if you could build a fairly comprehensive project that had sort of all those features configured into the box, you might be able to show people much faster sort of what everything GitLab can do for them. So those are the two I want to talk about. If you've got any questions, let me know. Thanks.